All right, a few weeks ago, my channel's views absolutely started tanking. I'm talking about videos that used to get 10, 20, even 30 plus thousand views, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, are flatlining at 1,000 views. And I know other people are feeling this too. I thought my content maybe just started to suck. It wasn't maybe resonating with people anymore. I wasn't sure why this was starting to happen. But then I found out that there's a brand new YouTube setting that's been quite literally secretly killing channels behind the scenes. And almost nobody is talking about it with the exception of a few creators. And the craziest part of all of this is it's probably turned on for your channel right now. Now, excuse me because I'm a little bit sick here, so just bear with my voice. I got my flat white here and we're gonna try to get through this video, but this is an important topic, which is why I wanted to come out with it anyways. All right, so in this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to show you exactly what is this setting that's turned on, 2, why it's actually destroying your reach, and 3, how to turn it off yourself so that you can hopefully revive your channel and get the views back on track that you hopefully had before this. And if you stick around, I'll also break down what to do next if your views are still struggling even after this so that you can finally get your channel growing and back on track again. Now, by the way, before we jump into this really fast, guys, if you want all of my YouTube systems, my scripts, my frameworks, even a custom trained YouTube AI GPT trained in YouTube strategy, it's like having me as your YouTube strategist with you 24/7. Well, you could get that completely for free in the first link in the description below. All right, so let's rewind for a second. If you're anything like me, you've probably been obsessed over dialing in your titles, your thumbnails, your packaging, your ideas, just your content in general, and trying to figure out why your views are also dropping right now, like many others. You're probably tweaking your packaging. You're probably trying to split test everything. But you're doing everything right. At least it feels like it. But nothing seems to be working. Now, if you're a small creator, this is even more brutal for you because you probably finally got a little bit of momentum and then boom, out of nowhere, your channel just falls off of a cliff. At least that's what it feels like. And I've seen this happen not only to so many people inside of my YouTube growth cohort community, but honestly, it happened to me too. And it's really discouraging. Now, I want to be real with you though for a second. I want you to know that I know what it's like to be stuck with YouTube. I know what it's like to pour hours and hours into a video only to watch it die in real time. And I know what it's like to start questioning everything, your ideas, your editing, your strategy, your skills, your niche, everything, right? Even yourself. You start thinking like, man, maybe I'm just not cut out for this whole YouTube thing. But what if the problem isn't actually you? What if it's something that you can't actually see behind the scenes? Well, the thing is exactly that. It may not have been you. It may have been the algorithm the entire time. It may not have been your content, assuming that you actually know what you're doing on YouTube. It could be this single setting in the back end of your YouTube studio that YouTube has recently decided to turn on for almost every channel. And unless you actually manually go in and turn it off yourself, it's probably still on for you right now. Now, this setting is called automatic dubbing. And on the surface, it sounds really cool, right? I mean, sweet. YouTube's gonna take our videos, translate it to a bunch of different languages, and then it's gonna dub our voice using AI so that people all over the world can watch our content. That sounds sick, right? It sounds like a win. Well, wrong. Because what actually is happening is YouTube is now pushing your videos to random audiences in completely different countries, in languages that we don't even speak, and to people who have zero interest in your niche, in what you're talking about. So in fact, your click-through rate is probably going to tank. Your retention, which is most important to me, is going to drop. And suddenly the algorithm thinks your content just sucks, even though it actually doesn't. Now, I started seeing this pattern everywhere because, well, I look for it. But in addition to looking for it, I was getting messages from creators inside of my community telling me like, dude, Dylan, my views just disappeared overnight. Why is this happening? Why I was crushing it, now I'm not. And in researching for this video, I found a bunch of Reddit threads with people just absolutely freaking out about their analytics. And then every time it was the same story, which is really interesting. In fact, other creators who have made a video on a similar topic have said the exact same things too. The problem was all of these videos were getting recommended next to content in other languages or to audience that just did not care about what they were making content about. And the whole way the YouTube algorithm works is by, we live in an age of interest media. It works by showing your content, by analyzing your content, figuring out who that content is most likely to resonate with, and then showing it to that interest group. Now, with that being said, how did I even figure this out in the first place? Well, I was deep in my own analytics. I was looking for any clue I possibly could as to why this was happening. And I noticed that my browse traffic had completely almost vanished completely. Like my videos were getting suggested next to random content. It was sometimes in niches that had absolutely nothing to do with my channel, not even adjacent niches. My click-through rate was dropping. My retention, as I said, what's most important to me, was actually dropping. And my revenue completely dropped from YouTube. It was like YouTube had just decided to bury my channel altogether. I was so confused. And at first, I thought it was just me. Maybe my content was getting stale. Maybe I needed to change my upload times or try a new niche, or maybe like just take a whole new perspective or bird's eye view of my content strategy. But then I started hearing this from other creators, big channels, small channels, people in my YouTube growth cohort, people in every single niche. They were all seeing the exact same thing. So I knew it wasn't me. I knew I had to try to investigate and figure out what was going on. And that's when I started digging. I went into my YouTube studio, as I said. I poked around in the settings and clients who were in my cohort. I went inside of their channels, their settings, their YouTube studios, and there it was, automatic dubbing. Turned on by default. So I turned it off, or within the next video I posted, my views started recovering. My click-through rate went up. My retention went up. My videos started getting recommended more to the actual right audience again. And then the same thing happened with the students in my cohort when we turned that setting off. So here's what you need to do right now. Go into your YouTube studio, click on settings in the bottom left, and then go to upload defaults and then advanced settings. Scroll down until you see automatic dubbing. And if it's checked, uncheck it. And then hit save. That's it. That's all you need to do. You just turned off that stupid setting that has been secretly sabotaging your channel, at least within the current state that it's been developed at the moment. For 99% of us, especially if you're in education, or if you're selling anything, this is not something you want to turn on because you will not get sales because it's likely that what you're selling, whether it's an info product or just a product, it's likely in English, right? So just focus on continuing to have that strong synergy between your audience, your content, and your offer. And make sure you keep that synergy within your own language. Now, with that being said, guys, with YouTube starting to enter into this hard mode era, and with features like this crushing our views and every other analytical measurement, you might feel down. You might feel ready to quit. And if that's you, I want you to go watch this video because I made it specifically for you next, where I talk about reasons why you shouldn't quit on YouTube and why you should keep going. With that being said, guys, I hope this was valuable. If you guys want all my free systems, templates, scripts, etc., you can get that in the first link in the description below. I'm rooting for you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.